Hey guys, still here, and welcome back to Factorio. Now, last time I left off with Factorio, what I had completed was the automation of turning the iron ore as well as the copper ore into copper plates and then iron plates here. What I want to do today is feed these two together into one area. This is what's commonly referred to, I believe, as a main bus. And then from there, I want to get these things turned into automation for the laboratories. So, first things first, I'm going to need quite a few of these iron plates, because we're going to be needing quite a few of these transporter belts. So let's bring a whole lot of those, and while they are being produced, I can head over to the various copper areas here. At least temporarily manually transfer those. Now, I'm still learning the hotkeys, so you guys said just control-click whatever facility you're trying to get stuff from, and that works. Yeah, that saves me a whole lot of time. Anyway, we need an exit belt for the copper. So we're going to have a couple of inserters. Technically, you could argue that they're not inserters, but exfils? I don't know. Something like that. And their purpose is simply, yeah, not right there, simply to take the stuff that is in the oven there, or in the furnace, out of the furnace, and transferring it over towards that belt. There we go. Okay, so now we have a copper supply. Now I want to turn these two into one line, and yeah, we're going to head over here with that line. We're going to need quite a few more. Let's see, we're going to head east. And I want this inserter out of the way. I'm going to delete that box. And ideally, I want to have one of these on each side. That makes sense. Alright, this is what I want. Now we have the start of a main bus. Because what I have now is one line that feeds copper. One belt that feeds copper and iron, and with this I can pretty much go anywhere I like. Starters. I would like to start making a couple of transporter belts. They're generally quite easy to make. You don't need a whole lot for them. All that you need is an iron plate and an iron gear wheel. I would also like the filter inserter. So we're going to have that section set up over here. What I want for that is simply... Actually, I can just use a splitter, come to think of it. Do I have a splitter? Not yet. Alright, we're going to split one of these iron areas off. Like this. Head north a little bit, and this is going to take care of all of my iron... my transporter belt issues. What I want this thing to make are the transporter belts, so I'm going to need iron plates and iron gear wheels. First things first, iron gear wheels. They just require iron plates. So again, we're going to have an inserter over here, and with the inserter active, this thing is automatically going to produce the gear wheels. Next up is going to be the next section. This is going to hand over the gear wheels towards this assembler, which is then going to take up the iron gear wheels. We need a little bit more transport belt. We're going to need another inserter. And with the inserter in place and preferably powered, we can then have automated, we have the automation for transport belts. And with this, I don't really need to manually be producing these things. What I do need is another inserter. Let's go with, I think a standard one should be enough. A box over here. And we're going to have to provide the thing with power. There you go. Now I'm going to constantly have a supply of transport belts. And this one is going to consistently just turn more belts into this box here. I don't think it's working quite fast enough, actually. Let's go with a fast one. There you go. Right, moving along. What we're going to be needing are quite a few sub-ingredients. These require iron gear wheels and copper plates. That's one. We're also going to need eventually Science Pack 2, but I want to automate Science Pack 1 for now. We're going to be doing that on this area here, this patch of land. So we're going to bring a couple more transport belts and add a splitter to that. We're going to split off one of these sections right here. There you go. Now the beauty of the splitters is that you can just put them down anywhere and they're just going to continue to feed like that. Right, what we need are the red Science Pack 1s. So we need copper and we need iron gear wheels. For that, I'm once again going to need a few assemblers. And the assemblers I'm going to be putting up first are the ones that produce the iron gear wheels. So that's that one, iron gear wheel. We're going to need an inserter for that. This one's just going to make the iron gear wheel, and the iron gear wheel is needed in the production of this, along with a copper plate. So once I have pretty much 2 of these, I should be fine. I want to have quite a few of these red science packs, so we're going to have 2 of these. 2 inserters. We're going to need to provide power. There we go. Now we have 2 of these things ready to go. Next, I also want to have the the copper plates. So we're going to need an exfil position. Oh, sorry, I can do that from here. We're going to need an exfil position for these. Again, inserters, and then a couple of assembling machines. So that's the exfil. These things are just going to keep producing the gear wheels as long as this belt is not full. There you go. Now this one's going to stop because he cannot stuff it anywhere. This means that this inserter stops and that whole production stops until it's once again required. What I want to have now is a belt where these things come together. But it's going to be just... Actually, let's move it up a little bit. You are going to come in here. You're going to come in like that. It's not really required to bring the iron plates here, just the copper plates. That's all that we need. So we're going to have the filter inserter set up for copper plates. Yeah, I was afraid that was going to happen. Like that. What I'm trying to do is split them out on each side. And this is exactly what I wanted. So now we're going to have copper plates on one side and iron gear wheels on the next. And now we have all that we need to make a couple of assembling machines turn these ingredients into the Science Pack 1. Again, we're going to need quite a few... Oh, that's the long-handed inserter. Quite a few inserters here. That's enough. Inserter 1, 2, 3. Align middle. Like that. We're going to need far more power lines than we have. Not the most beautiful locations for these power lines, but for now they're working perfectly. Alright, your objective. Produce Science Pack 1. Yours, Science Pack 1. And yours, Science Pack 1. I don't know if this is the ideal amount. Again, in Factorio you can always move stuff about and relocate them. So I might have to just completely change this setup later. For now, this will work, and I now need a science division where these things are going to get used. So we're going to need quite a few of those science labs. I already have one of them over here, which still has one little science pack in it. You can see that the amount of copper that's being used is far lower than the amount of iron plates that are being used. The amount of copper here is completely backlogged. There's not enough demand for it, and even these two furnaces are not even doing anything. So what you're seeing is a backlog for copper and a pretty consistent use for iron. We can actually feed that out or split that out here. We are using 855 iron ore or 625 iron plates versus only 12 copper plates. That is the difference in usage here. Right, a couple of science labs. Yes, I don't want to research anything at the moment. Not just yet. I'll have the belt come in from... oh, not like that. Over here. I'm going to have an exfil belt on this end. There we go. A couple of exfils, or inserters. Still producing a few more labs. 1, 2. Oh, misaligned. Usually group these in sections of 5. Yeah, 5 will do for the moment. We're gonna have 1 spare. Got the transport belt. And I'm going to limit this chest a little bit, so that we're only going to have 300 transport belts at the maximum. I think that should be enough, just as a bit of a reserve. Alright, that's the exfil inserters. So those are going to go here. 1, 2, 3. Science labs are going to require power. And not just them, but same goes for the inserters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little closer, like that. There you go. Okay, now these things don't have any jobs, so that's where they're not actually taking up these red science packs. For that, I want to have research going. Stone walls. Let's go for optics. Now you can see that most of these guys are going to start picking up the red science packs as they need them. And with the red science packs they're automatically going to produce science, but at a far better rate than what I was getting previous. Because normally I was building, or actually previous episode, I was building them manually, and that took more time. Right now they're automatically being produced. And talking of production, it looks like we're going to have to do something about our electricity needs. Because at the moment, while we do have enough, it's only barely. What is power consumption like? See, I'm not sure if I can move this about, because at the moment the performance and available performance are overlapping. Next one, go for automation. So I'm not exactly sure what at the moment these things are outputting. Ah, there we go. Satisfaction 900, production 900. That's the problem right there. We are not producing enough. We need more power, more electricity. We're still building science labs. Now, science labs are, at least as far as I've understood it so far, less effective as they are getting less energy. Simply like they cannot do all the required research because they don't have the power to do so. Also, I need to make sure that this belt is operating in the way that I want it. And this is not quite it. I want them to end up on... Sorry, that was my WhatsApp. I want them to end up on one side, so that eventually I can feed in the Science Packs 2s as well. So for that, I may have to use one of those underground belts. I'm going to be feeding them in from this side. So I need to traverse it underneath, coming out there. That should do. You're going to have to get redirected. And pick you up. You're gonna head south. Are they now feeding into the right side? Yeah, I think so. Aside from the fact that the electricity needs are too low, and that's slowing down the assembling machines. Yeah, it seems to be working out. This is a bit of a clusterfuck, but it works. Because they're all ending up on one side of the transporter belt, not both. Right. Back to the... Oh, actually, let's deploy that last lab. Back to the electricity. We'll come back to that later. Get a few more inserters. I'm going to need a couple of pipe-to-pipe and a couple of standard ones. A couple more steam machines. Actually, let's make these lines of 2. Yes, we will need to hook you up. There you go. Production 1.2 megawatts. I think that we are now operating at what we need. At least I should hope so. Let's see, can we use standard pipes here? Oh, power line's going to get in the way. There we go, that fixes it. Alright, power production is now better. This is what we need. The amount of steam over here is definitely the right amount that we require, and it's still being auto-fed by the coal belt that we put up in the previous episode. So everything is working fine. Now I want to beautify the system a little bit by using these underground belts. And with those things I can make this thing a little bit less conspicuous, as it were. Have a little bit less of it above ground. Which, as far as I've seen, also makes them slightly less vulnerable. One underground, 2 underground. There. There, that tidies it up a little bit. I can do the same thing here. At this distance it doesn't really matter that much, but whatever. Actually, I'm going to put up a few more stone furnaces instead. If I had stone. The stone patch was... east? Yeah, east. Alright. And the underground coming out there. Inserter, or rather exerter. Is that a word? I don't know. Power line. Attach it there. There we go. Now this one's also going to be producing. Eventually. There we go. He's active. Alright, let's go and get some stone. Can run right along this transport belt. Saves me a lot of time. And actually, as I'm here, might as well make myself useful. Alright, where's the stone? Alright, automation 2 has been researched. I can now get the assembling machine 2. This one can accept 4 ingredients, which is an improvement. Logistics is going to need Science Pack 2, which I currently cannot produce yet, or I am not producing. So let's get the standard turret. Yeah, see, we already had these things set up. I was hoping for that. Unfortunately, I don't have too much fuel here, but at least I will not have a shortage of stone. Sorry, I'm still learning to use that control click there. Alright, with the inserters now done, let's add those to the line. And judging by the slow speed that I'm producing red science packs at, I'm going to need quite a few more. Stone walls next. I'm going to have to up production a little bit. Here, have some science packs. Saves me the inventory space. That means that I'm going to have to extend this line at least a little bit. Let's get one more assembling machine. Or is it just their assembling speed? Yeah, I think that's the problem. Assembling speed 0.75, 0.5. Give me a few of these. And we're going to need a few more stone plates. What? Sorry, what the fuck are stone plates? Iron plates. Stone plates. Get out of here. You. Science pack 1. Science pack 1. This inserter is now getting quite happy about producing this stuff, even while it can't. There, that should speed up production a little bit. Let's go for a new research. Let's go for steel processing. By the way, you guys have been asking me to do a multiplayer on this. Yeah, I can do. I just have quite a few games to play at the moment. I still play Subnautica every now and then. I'm still working on surviving Mars. There's the occasional war game. There's World of Warships. So at the moment I really have a lot to play, and I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to playing to doing a multiplayer game of this anytime soon. If you want to set it up, be sure to do so. And if you just provide me with the login details either through an email, email address is in the description down below, or if you do so by leaving a comment, I will see if I can join you and help you produce your factory. I'll probably learn a little bit, or a thing or two in the meanwhile. Anyway, science packs are being produced at a far better rate at this point. What I can also get now are stone bricks. These things are built, of course, in the furnace. Solar energy, not yet available, need science pack 2. Military, yeah, let's go for military. Okay, building or automating the production of Science Pack 2 is going to be a larger operation because I need more specific ingredients for that. There's going to be more steps to making this. I'm going to first have to get quite a few more iron plates. I'm just soaking up more iron plates and more copper plates. Look at that, that was fast. Heavy armor. Still producing enough electricity? Yeah, we are. 3 steam engines will get you 2700 kilowatts, also known as 2.7 megawatts. So for now I should be fine. Stuff that's not so fine is the production of iron ore. Or actually the processing of iron ore. So we're gonna have to try and squeeze in a few more. There's just not that much room left. See, this is not ideal, but so long as it's in front of the splitter, I know that there will always be iron ore or iron plates being pushed by that line. Let's get a few more inserters handy. And another electric pole. I think we're going to have to chop a few more... Yeah, we're going to have to take down a few more trees. Otherwise I'm starting to run out of my supply of... Ah, crap, get out of the way. I'm starting to run out of supply of wood, and without wood I cannot build a small electric pole. Where are the trees? Here. Heavy armor's almost done researching. Anyway, I can build a steel axe eventually. Go for bullet damage. I can get this one if I have steel plates, which at the moment I don't have yet. Steel plates are being produced in a furnace. And it's another one of those things that I want to pretty much add to the main bus. Okay, now we can produce all the small electric poles that I might need. Alright, looks like the amount provided by the furnaces at this point is okay. As we're having another backlog here. Right, where do we go from here? I think I'm gonna have to head south a little bit, or let's say this side, and start producing the Science Pack 2. Start automating that. For that we're going to require a few of these, the assembling machines. And we're going to need a lot of steel plates to make, or iron plates to make this happen. It's probably easier to just soak them up here. And not take up a lot of copper plates in the process. Look at that. I have quite a few of those. Let's take on some transport belts. At this point I have plenty. Means I'm going to limit this thing even further. 100 transport belts there is fine. Alright, we're going to head over here and build the next facility that I need. So we're going to have a splitter. Bullet damage is still being researched. Power. Power's okay. But it seems like it's not quite getting what it needs. Why is that? It's not getting enough steam. We're gonna have to add another boiler. Where are the boilers? Here. Alright, just elongate this thing a little bit. Add a few more inserters. And we're going to have to adjust this thing slightly. Ah, there's no room for it. Well, that's unfortunate. Standard pipes. One more. Yeah, sorry, there's absolutely no need for that. And then the inserters. There we go. He's researched fluid handling. At this point, these steam engines should be getting enough steam. There we go. Now they're getting up to snuff. How are we doing for power? Production 2. Yeah, we're definitely meeting satisfaction or meeting demand for it. Let's build a few more of those things. I think I'm going to have to upgrade this area soon. It's going to have to get bigger. Simply because at the moment I am sort of meeting demand for iron plates. I mean, at the moment I am, but I'm going to need a lot more. So... yeah, see, these furnaces are all working. Well, mostly. The bottleneck now seems to be that there's not enough iron ore being produced. Trust me, I will get around to upgrading or to automating the Science Pack 2. For now, that's not going to happen this episode. Let's add a few of these. Oh, actually. And iron plates, yet again. You have to have a transport belt, feed these things into the main area. It's going to be here. One, two. And of course add power to these things. There you go. That should do it for a while. How are we doing on power? Just added a few more users. Yeah, we're closing in on that 2.7 megawatts. At least all of these furnaces should now continue to do stuff. I'm going to remove this one. Move it over slightly. And with the underground belt, I'm going to continue production for these slightly further south. I can still add quite a few more furnaces for the copper down here. But for the iron, I want to keep this grid intact. So we're going to have to do that elsewhere. It's going to be here. A few more stone furnaces. I'll take your steel plates off of you. And here. One, two, oop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll do. Inserters. This is just such an addictive game. You keep trying to automate better. You keep trying to up production. And this is just the early stage of the game. You can go so much further with this, and I haven't even touched on that. Now, once again, I need to feed this into the main bus, but I want it to come in from this side. So we're going to have to add it... we're going to move it under here. Like that. I have enough inserters. Now we're going to have to add a few of these. More power lines. Just shy of what I need. Alright, this should do. Now we're producing a whole lot more iron plates. Which is going to come in very, very handy in the next episode, as I'm going to be extending this main bus. Also splitting it off somewhere to help with the production of the steel beams. Go over that research. Where are they? The steel plates. And automating Science Pack 2. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas for further improvement, look at the Science Pack ones. If you have any ideas for further improvement, let me know down in the comments. I imagine it can be quite hard to explain. And again, if you have a multiplayer session for this going, or you want to start it up with a few more of my subscribers, be sure to give a shout out in the comments down below, or send me an email if you want to reach me specifically. I do read all the comments, but an email is going to guarantee more attention for that. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for more episodes.